Now a Florida-based scientist and his research team are working to track mosquitoes and possibly find some solutions to what he says is a growing problem.
I warned you that this was on the rise, and look what's happening now. The virus that causes this is expected to affect 100 to 400 million people this year, and new places already declaring epidemic of potentially fatal borne viruses. I personally am a little bit worried, and I'm going to tell you why. This is getting worse, and I don't know how they're going to stop it. More stuff y'all need to be aware of coming down the pipe, coming right up. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. Why are mosquitoes getting deadlier? Have you ever thought you needed to be worried about deadly viruses when it comes to mosquitoes? And like always, before I give you guys this crazy information that I think that y'all need to know about, I want to go over a couple things that you could do to help protect yourself. I'm not endorsed by this company, probably made in China because that's where all of our electronics come from these days. But this guy right here has been a lifesaver. It's got a USB dock. You can pull it out, but as you can see, this thing's always attracting mosquitoes, even through the night. So you've got this thing in your room, you'll hear a zap, 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 and you got a lot of goners, almost like a graveyard below this thing. You can also get after them. This thing's like a racket. Not a fan of Amazon, but yeah, I don't think you're gonna find this thing anywhere else. And keeping you guys protected is the most important thing. So I'll leave a link for that thing down in the description. The other thing I would highly recommend is this right here. 99% effective against mosquitoes and other biting insects. We're talking about ants, ticks, fleas, mosquitoes. Best thing about this stuff, DEET-free, natural essential oils, and it works. I use it all the time. Some of you already know that we promote an all-American made, non-toxic, family-owned company that makes this. It's kind of like Costco. You get a membership, you get discounted prices. But if this is the only thing you want, just tell them that this is the only thing that you want and you'd like to get it as a non-member. A lot of guys out there give you the problems with no solutions. There's a couple solutions. Now let's get to the problem. It's ironic how they warn us of what we're about to see. We've seen this, right? Even here with this. And this goes all the way back to 2019. They said, the New York Times back in 2019 said how dengue, a deadly mosquito-borne disease, could spread in a warming world. And how much have we been hearing about how much the world is warming? Faster than normal, right? You wonder what they're projecting for the United States with this deadly disease? Well, that's their 2080 projection, but we also know we are on the fast track with a warming world, right? They're calling it global warming. More predictions right here. In 2023, October, dengue will take off in Southern Europe. They always know the future and they give us a warning. February of this year, Brazil prompting emergency. Peru declaring health emergency. You think it's just the tropical areas? Oh no. Just came out, Reuters, surging dengue cases in Americas cause alarm as potentially worst ever season looms. And what do you figure is gonna come from this? Well, already at the end of January this year, South America dengue spike prompts vaccination drive as bug spray runs out. A more worthy cause maybe of something that needs a vaccination? I don't think you guys know how big of a deal this is. This thing is not good. Why am I especially concerned about this? Well, that's a skeeter right there that was trying to get me while I was filming this film. And I just saw this brand news today.
Hasta la segunda semana de marzo, el último informe.
As of the second week of March, the last published case report, there have been 549 cases of dengue fever. And interestingly, 62% of those people have had to be hospitalized.
62% de esas personas, 549 casos el número, el 62%.
So we are witnessing a situation where if we allow cases to increase significantly, our health system can be affected.
Permitimos que aumenten significativamente los casos, nuestro sistema de salud se puede ver afectado.
We expect to see a significant increase in dengue cases in the months with the highest rainfall, usually the summer months, starting mostly in August, September and October until December.
Puerto Rico declares health emergency over dengue surge. Don't suppose you guys can guess where I'm at right now? Yes, I've got a big homestead in Washington State, but as a business owner, I also have other businesses, and two of them happen to be here in Puerto Rico. So instead of you guys seeing in Maui like you used to see me all the time, now it's Puerto Rico. And I've got a little bit of a pucker factor with this because I just talked to a guy from a shop just the other day, 2 days ago as a matter of fact, and he knew personally 3 people down here that had already been hospitalized in the local area, and the symptoms aren't good. Real quick, let's go over the listed symptoms from the World Health Organization because they probably know where this came from and definitely knows what it causes. Dengue and severe dengue. Let me add, they also say dengue is a viral infection caused by the dengue virus, DENV, transmitted to humans through the bite of an infected mosquito. About half the world's population is now at risk of dengue, with an estimated 100 to 400 million infections occurring each year. Dengue is found in a tropical, subtropical climate worldwide, mostly in urban and semi-urban areas. But as we saw on the map, this thing is potentially mutating and expected to spread into our areas. While many dengue infections are asymptomatic or produce a mild illness, dengue can occasionally cause more severe cases and even death. So maybe some of you guys have had the DNV where this dengue comes from. Dengue, break bone fever. Now they're saying some people won't even get any symptoms. For those who do, most common symptoms are high fever, headache, body aches, nausea, and rash. Keep an eye out for that stuff. And the more scarier part, some people develop severe dengue and need care in the hospital. In several cases, dengue can be fatal. Where have we heard that line before? Just a couple years ago, right? They're saying, just like something else, this thing can last 1 to 2 weeks. Also something you should know, if symptoms occur, they usually begin 4 to 10 days after the infection. So you guys get bit 4 to 10 days later, if you guys happen to get sick or these symptoms, be on alert for this. They're saying the common infection can last 2 to 7 days. The symptoms may include high fever, severe headache, and when I hear about the headache, this is a pounding headache, a bad headache. Pain behind the ears, muscle and joint pains, nausea, vomiting, swollen glands, rash. Now what we're hearing is that you get this once, you might get those symptoms. You get it again, it compounds, it gets worse. So the second time you get it, you might be going to the hospital. The third time you get it, you might be a goner. Individuals who are affected for the second time are at greater risk of severe dengue. Severe dengue symptoms often come after the fever has gone away. Well, how scary is that? Severe abdominal pain, persistent vomiting, rapid breathing, bleeding of the gums or nose, fatigue, restless, blood in the vomit or stool, being very thirsty, pale and cold skin, feeling weak. I'm telling you, this is not sounding good. You might be wondering, well, how can it spread? Despite the travel restrictions, a lot of people travel for vacation and work, as dengue cannot be spread directly from person to person. However, a person infected and suffering from dengue fever can infect other mosquitoes. Humans are known to carry the infection from one country to another, or from one area to another during the stage when the virus circulates and reproduces in the blood system. And that with getting mosquito bites and not knowing for up to a week later that you got this thing is how a lot of areas could be introduced by the dengue fever.
After decades of progress, global malaria deaths are on the rise again. Other viruses like dengue and chikungunya are also making a comeback.
When you ask people what's the most dangerous animal in the world, most people think of things like sharks. It's actually the mosquito that's the deadliest animal on the planet, responsible for over 700 million infections each year and nearly 1 million deaths.
Heard the number that they said, 1 million deaths a year from mosquitoes, and it's getting worse and it's headed our direction. Like I said, health emergency, dengue fever outbreaks all over the news. We got 37 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, 17 minutes ago, 36 minutes ago. The problem is present, addressed, and spreading. And it's kind of tough in some situations to evade a mosquito. There's some things that you can do, and I take what precautions you can, because with this early in the year, numbers being higher than ever, definitely think it's a concern to be aware of. Got links for this down in the description and the pinned comment. And if you guys want to see a video they don't want you to see, watch this video next.